Shalom, shalom. This is the brother Amor Car. Back with another lesson, just a brief one. Um, First and foremost, I want to give all praises as always, honor and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah HaKodash. And as always, double honors goes out to the apostles that are apostles and all the other bishops out there who are, ruling and teaching, in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And peace and blessings to the elect, man. You know what this is all about. So yeah, as you can see, what is the Tory, the Conservatory's national service scheme and how it might work? So this is the Prime Minister of Great Britain. And when you look at the cabinet of the Tories, as they call them, the Conservatories, right? Just to make a brief note, they are of Asian descent. And the reason why they're of Asian descent, and like I said, this is just a side note, is because these guys are trying to put all kinds of new schemes and laws out, right, that are controversial, especially in regards to race and immigration and things like that. So they're using, the top elites are using these guys as the front, so they can't be called out on being, any kind of bigotry or prejudice or anything like that. So now, once again, Esau's being very smart, and what the other heathens are like. They ride with these Edomites, man. They'd rather ride with them, than against them, because it's easier that way. They'd rather be their puppets, because at the end of the day, they get to share some of the spoils. Not much, but they get to share some of the spoils, man. Right? Anyway, so getting into the crux of this. It's talking about national service. So they want to bring out a national service scheme like the old ways, man. Everything's going back to the old ways. And, why is that? Because war, being, the major prophecy, World War III, is going to be, it's upon us, man. You might not think so, but with what's going on in the world, with the relations between Russia and all these other countries, it's not far away. Obviously, there's other prophecies that we have to go through first before we reach the penultimate war, right? But this is just a part and parcel of that infrastructure that is being built for their new world order, man. They're already working on the currency, which is as the form of the MOTB, the chip, right? They're already working on that. We know they've been doing that for some time now, right? And now they're putting in place things for this third woe, man. The scriptures talk about the first woe, World War I, in Revelation 9 and 12, and then it talks about the second woe, World War II, man, in Revelation 11:14. Right, so those woes have passed, man. But this last woe is going to be like the world has never seen, man. All right, and so they want to recruit. They need to recruit for that gathering. Right, that's going to happen, and whether or not they know or understand that is beside the point. Remember, the Lord is in control of everything. So, like I said before, this infrastructure is being built. What else do they need? They need to establish that one world. So you got the government, you got the one world government, you got the one world currency, and they need to establish that religion, man. All right. And these things can happen in a blink of an eye, man. What they've got to do is mash up the economy. They can do that overnight if they wanted to, if they could. As long as they get the opportunity, they will do that overnight. The religion might take a little bit longer, and as the established government, it's already established, man. If you haven't really realized that, what government is already established through the UN, NATO, and all of that. They're already combined. They're already combined, man. Right? It's just that they're not saying it out loud. That's why they all sing the same songs. All these leaders of the so-called free world and the not so free world, with their little hand gestures when they're standing up, doing their little speeches and whatnot, meeting and greeting each other with their secret handshakes and all of that. So that new world order is already established. The only difference is that they're not telling you that it exists. But if you have the discernment, you can see it. Let's read some of this. It says the Conservatives have set out a plan to require 18-year-olds to take part in a form of national service if the party wins the general election on the 4th of July, which they probably will. There's probably some significance in that date as well, but I wouldn't really know right now. And by the way, this is just an opinion. I'm not saying this is factual, but if we really look at the way things are going, man, I would say that this is part and parcel of, getting into that whole Third World War, man. That's gonna go down. So it says Rishi Sunak said the scheme will promote a shared sense of purpose among our young people and renewed sense of pride in our country. Look, man, all the people that this man's in over, as in all the citizens of this country, the majority of these Edomites don't see him as of this country, man. The way this man speaks is as if he's an Edomite. But they don't want him in charge, man. They hate him, and they'll hide behind his politics, but it's really his color of his skin and his ethnicity that they really don't like, man. Remember, these are Elamite, man, and they're part and parcel of our enemies. They're not here to do anything for so-called brown people or so-called black people, as well as they like to call us. So let's read on. So let's get into the details. I'm not going to listen to all the. I'm not going to read all the BS around it, but it says the proposed new scheme would not be conscription where people are legally required to join the armed forces for a period, but it will compel people by law to complete a community program over a 12-month period or enroll in a year-long military training scheme when they turn 18. Listen, man, they can change laws at any time they want. Right? They can sit there and say, "Oh, well, we're not gonna, it's not conscription. We won't make you You won't have to do it by law. We're going to try and entice you, and we're going to try and raise your patriotism that you want to do it, compel you to join." No, man. Whenever they want to change these laws, they did it in the period of C-19, did they not? They were changing all the laws then, man. They can do it whenever they want. They can rewrite the laws, and people sit by and do nothing about it because they're already brainwashed. Right? It says the name is taken from the mandatory military training British men aged 17 to 21 had to undertake between 1949 and 1960. Then national service meant 18 months of military training and spending 4 years on a reserve list, meaning they could be called up to fight at short notice. The scheme being proposed now would not force anyone to do military training, Home Secretary James Cleverly told the BBC. So, this is all BS, man. Let's see what happens. Like I said, this is just an opinion of mine. It might not be the case. It might not go that far. Ultimately, there is going to be a World War III, and there are going to be people that are going to have to fight in that, man. All right, it's in the scriptures, man. Right, and once again, they're trying to convince you that this is going to be by choice, and yeah, it might be at the start. It says would there be punishments for not taking part? It says, while 18-year-olds would have a choice in the type of national service they signed up for, because it says up here there's different types of services: NHS, fire service, ambulance, search and rescue, critical local infrastructure. Right, so they're gonna try and make it out like it's not just about war, fighting. But when you really think about it, all those roles that we just read there, where is it? NHS. That's just what are they called in the field? Field nurses, man. Fire service, ambulance, search and rescue. That's all in the army anyway. So you're not really, they're trying to be slick with the words as usual, but they're not fooling us. He says no one will go to prison for not taking part. Mr. Cleverly said, but there will be non-criminal sanctions for those who refused. So you're still going to get sanctioned. There's still going to be sanctions, eh? What does that mean? The Conservatives have not said what those punishments would be. So there will be punishments, eh? As of 2021, there were around 775,000 18-year-olds in the UK, according to data from the Office of National Statistics. Anyway. So I don't think there's anything else. It's just more spinning. Right, so let's just get into some scriptures, man. Like I said, I'm not going to make this too long. So yeah, man, there's going to be a gathering, right? Where all the nations are going to come together and be at war. You see, you're gonna have national armies, but you're gonna also have that world army. That world army is to kick in the asses of people in other countries to gain control, right? In order to gain full control. So that is before that that big war with the missiles and Yahweh Shai coming back and dealing with the place, So Joel 3:1 says, "Before, behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem," meaning the salvation. That's what that means, man. That's when the elect are to be saved. "I will also gather all nations, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat," meaning Yahweh's judgment, or Yahweh Shaphat, Yahweh's judgment. "And I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land." I believe that is the Persian Gulf, if I'm not mistaken. "And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink." So the judgment the judgment is because of the sin that this place has been put under by these demons, these devils, man, and also what they've done to the Lord's people, man. He's chosen. All right, the Lord's pissed, man. He is pissed about what they have done to us, even though He sanctioned it. But that don't matter. Just because He sanctioned it doesn't mean they can't be punished for it, because they revel in their wickedness anyway, man. They're proud of it. They speak on it, don't they? There was a guy. I think he's BlackRock, one of them BlackRock guys, one of them top guys in at BlackRock, talking about how they should bring back colonization, man. So he's saying it out loud like that. So these top elites, they're proud of their wickedness, man. That's why they leave up the monuments of their wicked leaders that, have done all these things, man, throughout the histories. Verse 4 says, "Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head, because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things." We are the Lord's gold and silver. We're His precious, man. "The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border." So He's talking about all the things that they've done against us and against the Lord, man. There's a quote, and no one really knows if it's true or not, but it's apparently of Adolf Hitler talking about how America is going to be in that grave danger once, you know, the world realizes who they have in their possession. You know, and what does he, and this, and according to what was said, is that he said that America has God's jewels, right? He says that. Well, you know, it's you got, unless there's 100% proof, you always got to speculate, but it's probably true. So he talks about how America is gonna be destroyed once the world finds out who America has in their possession. And he says God's Jews. He says that, and he goes on to say that, you know, the so-called blacks are the children, are the children of God, basically. And that truth is coming out. No one really believes that those people out there, them JWOs, are the true Jews or the true Israelites, man. You know? He says, behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. Right, so this is all about getting the vengeance, you know, against those that have done what they have done against the children of Yahweh Shem Shai, man. Yasha Allah, man. Verse 8 says, and I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabaeans, to people far off, for the Lord has spoken. So, you know, captivity. But that's the punishment, captivity, man. Right? It's they're going into captivity. Verse 9 says, proclaim ye, and for, you know, to elaborate on that, you know, that's the judgment, that's the balance. You put us in captivity, we're gonna put you into captivity, man. Because you didn't see anything wrong with that. And you know what? Neither do we. The Lord proclaimed that was gonna happen. We had to take that. We had to take that L, and you're gonna have to take that L. When I say you're gonna have to take that L, I'm really talking to them elites, man. You know, you minor heathens are gonna get what's coming to you as well, man. But those that have pushed our people, you know, down to the bottom and treated us like the scum of the earth, and had the rest of the world believe that, are gonna have to pay dearly. Right? Verse 9 says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. So prepare war, man. So that's what's happening, right? Why would they think of, you think they want to do this national service thing just to promote patriotism, you know, pride in your nation? You really think that's the reason? Listen, it's called gradualism with these guys. They never do things straight up like that. They always move in bits, small steps, to get to the bigger, to get to that finishing line. It's always small steps with them, because they know that they have to do it like that. The people won't stand for it. They have to do things slowly, change your mind, make you believe in them. Beat your plow shears into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I'm strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. And I just read 14 as well. Multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. Some multitudes, man. You know, big gathering of all the nations coming down for war, man. But ultimately, the destruction is going to come through, by way of those missiles. Let's get a quick one on that as well. Just a quick one. So, skipped out a bit. So Jeremiah 50:9 says, "For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon," right? And this is what's going to happen in that time, man. "An assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain." So those missiles, man, are going to be on course, and they're going to hit their targets cleanly, right? You can get into other scriptures, Isaiah 13 and Isaiah 34 goes into the destruction and all of that, you know. But yeah, man. So they're going to start doing their recruiting, all right. And the type of people that tend to really go into the army, man, are people that have nothing. They have nothing else to lose, nowhere else to go. Bear that in mind. Some people just want to kill people, man. Think about how the world is these days as well. The mindset of a lot of these young men out here today, man. They're loose cannons, man. Anyway, Lord willing, that was edifying, All praises to Yahweh, Shem Yahweh Shai. And double honor to the apostles and the bishops of Great Millstone once more. Peace and blessings to the elect, man. Shalom.